If you're a musician and you've been struggling with playlisting on Spotify, Apple Music, etc., or been struggling with PR in general, then this tool may be for you, and the tool's name is Groover.co. Just before we get going, I'd like to say thank you to Groover for giving me some groovies to try out their platform. Groover is a centralized platform for PR where you get access to more than 2,000 odd curators for Spotify and other blog posts, so it helps you get your music out and it's a lot easier. So if you're a musician, I highly recommend you use Groover. I've done a video before showing you how to register and use Groover. You can see that over here somewhere, and I want to show you some results that I've gotten from Groover, so I'm going to head over to my PC and show you a few of the results that I've been getting from using Groover.
So I've already signed into my Groover account. I've done a tutorial before on how to set up your account and create a campaign. So now I'm just going to show you some results from the campaigns. So I had a single called Date with Neve, and I tried 3 types of campaigns. The first one was for Spotify playlists. The second one was for getting blogs or PR in terms of media. And the third one was for radio. So Date with Neve, for a short synopsis, is kind of like it's a boom bap old school type of track. So getting the success on radio was most likely not going to work considering it's not the current sound. But in terms of playlists, you're bound to find some playlists for your music. So generally speaking, if you look over here at the bottom, I've got about, let me just get rid of the cookies. If you look, I submitted to about 30 playlists, and from the 30 playlists, only 3 of them did not respond. So the nice thing about Groover is if a playlist does not, a curator, does not at least listen and respond to the song or whatever you're pitching, then you get the groovies back. Groovies are the currency, or basically the money within the Groover atmosphere. So off the bat, you can see that I've got 27 from the 30. 27 actually came through, so that's 90% of all of my pitching was listened to. And then if you look at a quick glance, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12, so 12 out of 27 actually came through. So that's slightly under 50%, so 50% conversion rate. So that means about 50% of the playlists I pitched to actually accepted the song. So now this is not necessarily means that everyone will get this, but I just want to highlight that the conversion rate is really high. And to be fair, you have to kind of find the correct playlists that matches your songs.
And if you want to get 10% off your next Groover campaign, use the promo code SkillMusicSA Groove 10, and I'll also leave it in the description below, and you'll get 10% off your next Groover campaign.
So if you're submitting, for example, a hip hop track to a country playlist, then that's not going to work. But anyway, so I just want to show you some of the feedback. Some of the feedback is really good. Even the rejection, they basically tell you what I'm trying to find one. Yeah, this one's a good example. They basically tell you what they liked about the song, what really worked, and more. Some of them tell you how long it will take. So not all playlists keep it there forever. Some have a limit for how long they'll keep it in there. And then some of them actually ask for additional information because they may use alternative methods of sharing their playlist or wherever you're pitching to. So this one asked for my, this was a press release and then several pictures where they can tweet, for example, or put on their personal blogs. Let me just show you some of the rejection because it's not all happy and sunflowers. Here's some of the rejection. The basic vibe is good, you're almost there. There's just something out of the song because of the flow is not 100% fine, and that's that person's opinion and you have to respect it, I suppose. And then that's it, that's your rejection. All the rejections are none of them are like blatantly bad. Sadly, I won't be adding this playlist since it doesn't match the modern R&B style that I'm seeking for this playlist. So even if you do submit, the nice thing is once you've submitted, you know what kind of music that playlist or that curator is looking for. So if I ever do decide to make a modern R&B style type of song, I can automatically pitch to this curator. But that's basically how I see for the playlisting. It's a pretty high conversion rate, so I had a good experience with regards to the Spotify playlisting. Let's have a look at this was for blogs. I really liked the blog. 3 of them got accepted, and if you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 10. So I got 3 out of 10. So that's a 30% conversion, which is relatively high, I still think. Realistically, 10% is more or less where I was expecting 1 out of 10 to accept. Let me just give you some example. This curator was a really good one, and when you look at how good job, the feedback is really good. But what I was more impressed by was the actual write-up. The write-up was really good. It was a good quality write-up. This is something I could actually use for my PR. So the nice part is all this all the writing you get from these type of blog posts, you can still use within your own promotional material, because this write-up is pretty good as is. The writer also changed the press release and kind of added her own flair, the writer's own flair. So that was really nice about the blog posts. And then let me look at my radio campaign number 4. Radio campaign was not, I was about to say not as good, but it's more or less better than the blog ones even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 10 out of 12, 5 out of 12. So that's also almost 50%. That's really high for radio. And then obviously, since you're using radio, some of these are online radio, so you might not be able to track them, but you'd use another tool to track the streams to see if it's converting really well. Basically, that is how I saw the 3 campaigns. And then let me show you how that actually converts in terms of playlist, in terms of streams on Spotify. Now, this is how it translates in terms of streams. If you this is just listeners. So I've got 303 listeners, and that's like up 288%. And I haven't been using all the other streams that I generally use to generate to increase my streams, because I didn't want to cloud the results so much. So that's 288%. And then the streams is about 602 streams, and that's literally just, I wasn't using paid ads to get my general audience, but of course there will be, my general audience will be listening at the same time. So the streams are up by 200%, and the listeners are also up by almost 300%. So the platform does work in generating the streams. Now, to be fair, it might not just be from the streams that are generated, it might also be from the other campaigns that are generated over here. But overall, I can't really complain. Now, ideally, you don't just use Groover for the streams, because you want to grow your followers as well. So that's where you have to use alternative methods of getting people into your stream. So you'd use something like Facebook ads or WhatsApp ads to keep on reminding. And I highly recommend you have a mailing list, because the mailing list is necessary to keep top of mind for your listeners. So you use all these tools collectively to help improve your hustle in terms of growing your music and your listenership. But that's basically how Groover worked out for me.
Don't forget to use the campaign code SkillMusicSA Groove 10, and you'll get 10% off your first Groover campaign.